Hello and welcome to another Scratch tutorial. So today we're going to be looking at all of the Sprite graphics things. So costumes, importing costumes, drawing costumes, as well as changing the graphics in the programming. So I know I haven't posted in a while. I've been out of the country. I was in Mexico. Yeah, so let's jump into this. So, if we go into costumes of this sprite, we have these options. It comes with these. So, first thing we can do is delete this. I don't like that costume. So we have this this sprite. So this is a vector. This is a vector style sprite. So what you can do is you can select different parts of it and move it around. It basically just stores different items as objects, and so the fill of this is a bunch of different colors, which is why it shows up as this, and the outlines are different colors. Then you can delete it and stuff. Control Z does undo in Scratch. Then let's start just by working on creating new costumes. So there's two different styles of costume: vector and bitmap. Bitmap is like pixelated. Vector is nice and smooth. We'll go through all of the different tools in a second. Now you might want a few different. So obviously we want to make a new costume usually, especially when it's this. Okay, I don't know why I made that, but so here are your options. Camera. I'm not going to turn that on because then you get to see my face. Upload a costume. We'll go over that later. Surprise. This chooses a random costume. Paint and choose. So let's start by choosing a costume. Clicked on it. Okay. So then you come up with this. These are all of the included sprites that it comes with. So let's find a good one. Alright, let's get rid of this horrible thing. Alright, so now we have this. So that's how you choose one. And then if you're creating a new sprite, which is this button, you can also click choose a sprite. And you also have all of the different options for when you create a costume. And they're also exactly the same button. And this is choose a backdrop, same options. I'll go over backdrops in a second. So now that we've done choose a costume, which is actually the default as well, so if you just click on that button, we can go to paint. So now under paint, this is when we'll go over all the tools in vector. So let's start with this. This is a paintbrush. You can draw things. You can change the pixel size. You can change the color with all of these different sliders. Then you can fill different things. So if I want this part to actually be this color, I can just select these different things. You cannot fill the background. This is a line. It just paints something straight. To change the color, you change the outline, and then because there's no fill of a line, then rectangles, you can do this, and then you just click and drag to make it. I don't know, I just said you can do this. Then you can do shift to make a square. Same with circle, or I guess ellipse. You can do this to make an ellipse, or a non-circle ellipse, a non-circular ellipse, and you can do shift to make a circle. And then you can always just change the color. This is very messy. Text. Type text. I don't know what I type, so I'm going to zoom back out. You can type text. Resize it. In vector, you can go back in and edit it. And then this is called reshape, I believe. Yep. And then what you can do is you can select this. So, sorry, I'm used to using different engines. So this one, you can completely change the shape of it. Now if you select the line, you have all of these things, so you can change the shape of it and stuff. Make it interesting. And you just drag these dots. I'm sorry. And you can twist it. Pretty cool tool. Then you also have just this, which is, what do they call it in here? Select. You can select this, move it, do normal resizing of it, stuff like that, delete stuff. One of the more useful tools. Yeah. And then under this, you can actually, click text. If I click this, I can click copy, and then I can deselect it, paste it, so it creates a new one, delete it. I can flip stuff. I can flip the things in different ways. This changes the layering. Then this can flip the shape. So that's all the vector ones. So let's paint another costume. So you see this button, it says convert to bitmap. So if I click that, it'll now say convert to vector. So you're now in bitmap mode. Bitmap is my favorite one. I know there's people with different opinions, but let's start with this. So as you can already see, it's pixelated. So you get that's the pixel size. So let's make a smaller one. So you can see 2 is this size. 1 is the smallest pixel size. You can't go smaller. Then this is a line. Same as the other line. Circle. Shift to make it a perfect circle. Whoops. Square. Rectangle. Then text. Same. It's pretty much the same. So if I type hi and click off, it'll be nice and pixelated, but you'll see you can no longer edit it. Eraser, this is not present in Vector. I think they should have one for those people who like Vector. You can change the size and stuff as low as 1. Then, if we zoom in, you can see you can erase individual pixels and it'll be clear, transparent. That's what usually these checks mean. If you see these behind a picture, it usually means that that the picture will be transparent. That's probably my favorite reason to use bitmap, besides the pixels. Then this is select. You can select it. Then you can resize it, flip it, copy and paste it, delete it. The only thing that's different that I wish they would have is resizing a little bit, but bitmap is just a different tool. And also something cool is you could, after you do it and draw stuff in bitmap, you can convert it to vector, but it only shows up as one entity. Like if I selected this, it's only one thing. But then you can move it like that. So if I go back to vector, or not vector, sorry, I keep reading these words, then I select this, you'll see if I click off of it, it snaps to the blocks. And if I make it smaller, it pixelates it, and it makes it only pixel size 1. Like, you'll see this, it's lost pretty much all meaning at this point. I mean, you can keep making it smaller and smaller, but now it's gone because it just uses a simple pixelization thing. Am I talking really slow? Um, I'm sorry, I'm tired. And that's pretty much all for painting costumes. Now, if we go to surprise, makes a random costume from the library. It's basically like choose, except you don't get to choose. Now, if I click upload costume, so first let's go. Let's say I want my character to be Pac-Man. So I'm gonna write it. It usually shows up with the right thing when you type stuff like that in. Okay, so let's say I want Pac-Man and I'm too lazy to draw it myself. I know it's incredibly hard to do this. Sorry. Okay, so let's say I want this as my picture. To be honest, you could probably draw this yourself, but this is just an example. So what you first want to do is make sure that there aren't any copyright issues. You don't usually want. Okay. So this is just Scratch though. So there could be copyright issues, but you can use this probably since it's just like, I mean, it's an educational programming website. So what you can do is you can click on it, you can drag it to your desktop, then you can drop it, and you get this. So if we open this by double clicking, you can see that now we have this picture and it's on our desktop. So if we go back to our project and we click upload costume, then if we scroll down, what's it called? Desktop. Here it is. Open. They'll say importing, and we get our Pac-Man. So it's not actually transparent. It depends on which one you get, but then you've imported it, and so now you can come in here and, sorry, Pac-Man. Even though it's not transparent, is like an 8-bit thing, so you can just select it, delete it. Now that part is transparent. You can also use the eraser. It's on size 1, but you kind of get the idea. So then you can just erase different parts of it, and then you can just get it transparent, and that's pretty much all with importing. Camera, click on it. I'm not going to do it. I don't want you to see my face. Maybe later. But you click on it, then you just take a picture. Then it will import it automatically. You'll figure it out. Not going to do it. Sorry. That's all with costumes. So now, if we go over here, and we go to looks, this is all the things that will change how it looks, as the name implies. So this makes it say hello for 2 seconds. This just makes it say hello forever, pretty much. And then think slightly different graphics, bubbles. Then this also makes it do it indefinitely. Switching costumes, you probably know this. Then you can switch the backdrops, which also pretty much just have costumes. The only difference is it can't move and it's layered behind everything. Size, self-explanatory. Show, hide, appear, disappear. Front, the layers is, so if there's different sprites on the screen and you want one to be in front of the other one, you use these programs. Then these are variables: costume number, 5, backdrop number, and then you can also do name. So it's that, which is the name of the imported thing. Oh, right. If you want to change the costume name, you can just change it by typing it in here. So our costume name is Pack. Size, it will change as you click the size button. Now these are my favorite ones. So change and set the effects. So color effect, it changes the color. This is hard to learn how to use well, but it works. Now fisheye, if you know what the fisheye effect is, it makes everything look larger at the middle. It's better in 3D. Then if we go to whirl effect, twist, and it looks super cool, especially if you're. I've used the whirl effect during level switches, where the character warps to the next level, and you can change this number to change the effect. Pixelate. It makes it pixelate. And yeah. So it basically does what the bitmap thing does, except in the programming. Then if we do mosaic, da 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 do 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 do. Sorry. It just makes it look like a bunch of them, and it's still just one sprite. And then brightness. You can also make it darker. And then all you can see eventually is just the white. Yep. And I believe there's one more. Ghost effect. This is my favorite one. It makes it transparent. It's actually transparent, so if we go to backdrops, it's the same controls. But you can now see it through the other sprite. And then that's all of those. And then let's just change the color effect a little bit. Then clear all graphic effects. So if I have it say hello, and that it will keep and have the color effect be like that, it will do that forever. But if you click clear all graphic effects, it resets everything. And yep. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for all of the graphics. Something I suggest looking into going forward is the pen blocks. I'm making a tutorial for pen in the future. You just click that little block button on the bottom and you get these programs that will be coming up, as well as a few other things. But that's all for this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.